which I'm really, really excited to share about, just from the depth of my heart and everything that's moving for us all in this new paradigm right now, and how all of us as women are feeling the currents of where we're being taken, our own journey of ascension, what we're all being invited to embrace within our lives, our personal destinies. And I will be explaining today in depth how the Rose Ascension Midwifery training is very much about being able to guide men and women from one state of being into a transformation of awakening their feminine energy, their innate intelligence of the feminine within their body. So, to give you a little bit of context to Ascension in general and the time that we are in right now, over the generations, we have been so deeply cut off and oppressed and suppressed to our feminine energy through the belief systems, through the basis of we inherit the nervous system of the generations before. So, what we are all embodying in this time and age, no matter your age or which stage you're at within your life, we're all being asked to embrace more of this feminine intelligence once again, to remember it, to reclaim it. And through the generations of this being suppressed, it's created a incoherent flow between the womb, the heart, and the mind, something that is very much our natural state of being. The heart's intelligence is where all indigenous tribes of the world, where they operate from. They're not coming from the rational thought processes that the Western world has molded us into today. They're much more in tune with the old ways of being, with these cyclical flows of rhythm, and being able to listen through our heart, through all of our cells, our receptivity to life around us, to be the force that guides us. So, as we're moving into this profound new paradigm in healing, in history, everything is shifting. So, that's also shifting within our lives. And no matter what stage that you're in within your life, you will be ultimately brought back into a remembrance of these qualities inside of you, because it's where we are all naturally evolving to be able to root in and embrace this new phase of our ascension and where we're evolving to as humanity. And to do that is to come back into the wisdom of the body, into the intelligence of the body. So, throughout your life, you would have experienced some key initiations, some pivotal moments that would have shifted everything for you. It's those moments in your life that you go back to and you remember. And there may have been aspects of it that you truly embraced, that you've midwifed yourself through that journey of healing, of claiming it, of finding the gifts and the medicine within those experiences. And there's certain aspects of our own personal destiny that continue to unfold, so that when our body is really ready for it, when we're receptive enough and we have the emotional capacity to hold deeper wounds that took place, this is when we allow that transformation to happen and we receive all the gifts from that. So within our life's journey, there is different evolutions and cycles of us. As women, every month we are rebirthing simply from our lunar cycles, from going from one phase every month into our menstruation, bleeding, releasing, coming back into our full radiance and reconnecting to ourselves. So as women, we are always midwifing ourselves every single month. But there is also rhythms within your own life that you would have noticed. This memory is coming back in, or this trauma that I experienced, I'm receiving a new revelation about it within my life. I can embrace it more. And for us to serve in this new paradigm, we're not operating from the things that how we used to move, how we used to show up. We're coming into a phase where it's dropping down into the belly of our destiny, what we came here to really be in service to. So, my belief and what I've seen and witnessed in my years of working with rose healings for men and women, that it always comes back down to these pivotal moments within somebody's life, and that they ultimately have been gifted those experiences, the challenge of them, the emotions, the dark night of the soul that it's guided you into, so that you can be of service to it, that you serve from that place, because that's your embodied wisdom, that's what you've been able to transform. So within the Rose Ascension Midwifery course specifically, throughout the modules, you'll be diving deeper into those specific wounds within your life, those key initiations, those pivotal moments, to really receive and embrace the medicine within them, so that you're coming into a place as a practitioner that you're serving from your strength, you're serving from your embodied wisdom, and you're ultimately claiming your destiny, because it's not a coincidence that our life's tapestry is made up of multiple different experiences and themes. This is very much a part of the way that we evolve and the way that we ascend to move on, to go on to the next stage of life, death, and go into the unseen realms. And what I've witnessed is that whether or not we choose to embrace it in this moment, we will be guided to that place one way or another, through life's experiences, through our guides, through our soul's journey. We will ultimately be brought to a place where that wound and that initiation is a part of us, and that's how spirit is guiding us to serve. So these topics today is very much about that. It's about you embracing those elements inside of you, and we'll journal a little bit that you can discover and just receive for yourself. Where do you feel like you're at with those initiations? Where do you feel like you've embraced certain parts of those gifts? And really asking yourself the question, do you feel like you're serving from that place, or do you feel like you can drop down deeper, that you can take that courageous step in diving deeper into your shadows and embracing your wounds, so that you can bring out the best medicine of yourself? So I'm going to invite you now to just drop in with this question. And if you have your journal and paper with you, pen and paper, or simply you can ask yourself and just welcome it into the space, and just give yourself this time and this moment to reflect. So the question is very much, what have you midwifed yourself in this lifetime? What transformation have you midwifed yourself through? What was your key initiations and pivotal moments? So I'm going to give you all a little moment to just receive yourself, where you're at right now, how you're feeling, taking a moment to check in. Hmm. So if you feel like sharing, you're welcome to put it in the chat box. I would love to hear what's come through for you guys, if there's any just key little things coming through, revelations. Thank you, Saren, for sharing. Yeah, thank you, Selena. Really good to feel where you guys are both at, because there's going to be more questions throughout this masterclass that are going to be helping you to evolve with that and embrace more of these unique gifts of your personal service. So I want to just bring us back into what this means in relationship to the rose and what the rose does as a plant spirit in this time, in this moment in our ascension. So, as I mentioned, ultimately, we are all being guided back into this space of remembrance of our innate intelligence, feminine intelligence of the body, our heart centered intelligence, also the magnetic field of our womb, and the way that we attract, magnetize many different experiences, how we feel completely coherent in that space. And the rose works very much to awaken all of these elements, and we're in a humble service to an ancient flower spirit. So rather than assuming that we know the way to really reawaken these aspects inside of us, and what I mean by aspects, these are neurological pathways that are happening between the heart, the brain, and the womb. And this comes from reinstilling healthy, um, harmonic relationships to our feminine energy and the qualities of our feminine energy, expanding our emotional intelligence when it comes to self-worth, when it comes to safety. And as I mentioned, we've all inherited the nervous systems of our ancestors. So, what you will be working with in this lifetime is stretching that capacity and clearing the limitations of the beliefs that you've inherited. Because when we are children, we look to our role models, we look to our mothers and our fathers and our culture around us to bring us guidance in the way that we relate to our bodies and our feminine aspects in general. So the rose works to gradually integrate this deeper receptivity and empathy within somebody's body. So in the world today, our vulnerable nature of the feminine is not supported in many different aspects of our culture, through the rhythm that we work, the demands upon us as women, and just the simplicity that we're not acknowledging culturally, that we communicate to the unseen realms not only through the rational mind. Our body has an intelligence that is communicating to all of the energy and the frequencies and the electromagnetic fields around us, and that's our personal navigation, which is rooted in our intuition and more. And for human beings to rebuild that intimacy with themselves is to have a framework, a foundational understanding. And through the generations, as we've lost our connection to this, and we've lost our connection to ancestral ways and rhythms of flowing with the lunar cycles, just the simplicity of time and many different elements that have changed the world that we live in, it's going towards our plant teachers, our ancient flower teachers, to show us the guidance. So my work over near decade of working with the rose, I've personally experienced this and guided many people into awakening their feminine energy. And clients that come to me, people, friends, people, beautiful beings, they all come from different stages. And one of the key aspects of what people are not feeling comfortable with in expressing their feminine energy, or even having an intimacy or a connection to their feminine energy, is just from the overstimulation of the world around. There's so much input, there's so much information. And for that vulnerable nature to be expressed, it's about having an ultimate trust and a bond. And This can create hardening. So this very much looks like the person that comes in with a very hard, protective exterior, as it were. You'll have different, as you've experienced, different people come into your spaces as practitioners, and they've all got different levels of openness and receptivity and sensitivity. Some people can be more dominant in their rational mind. So, all of these different elements, the rose is building a harmonic foundational imprint, helping them remember that so that they can settle into that trust, into that intimacy, that they can be more open in their heart, they can let down their barriers, they can feel more trusting to allow themselves to receive. So I'm going to bring this into a topic and a theme around this regarding the mother wound and this innate belonging that many of us as human beings are actually striving to get back to. There's a void that many are filling with consumerism, with addictions. And this just simply comes down to our first moments of arriving onto the planet and what we received, like also being in the womb of our mother. What was the imprints? What was the belief systems, the feelings that she had at that time in terms of her own comfortability? And when there hasn't actually been role models for that introduced, the way that the roses, she's bringing this from the high frequency of love that she is, so that this memory is being reinstilled within the body. And slowly, the way that I see everybody that I've worked with, everybody at their own cycles and times, but they begin to have a greater capacity emotionally. They have a sweeter communication with themselves. They feel their sensuality awakening. They feel the bliss and the gratitude. They find harmony within their relationships, in all of their relationships, because ultimately they found that within themselves, that greater love. And so this comes down into the mother wound, the mother bonding. Through the rose, she gives this amazing love blueprint of what we actually originally as human beings were made like, as the feminine innate intelligence of the body. And it's a greater sovereignty and trust in the belonging of where we've come from, where we've originally come from, our stars. It's the connection to Mother Earth. And this brings sovereignty into your being, and it helps people connect into their essence. And so the rose is very much about helping everybody blossom into their true essence and gradually opening up all of the limitations, the blockages from shame, fear, that they can step into a safe place of belonging within their body, a safety. So, what I mentioned in the world today, that often the reason why our feminine nature is not expressed so freely comes down to a lack of intimacy and trust within those qualities inside of us, and also a feeling of safety in our body, which comes down to healing that mother wound and coming into that innate belonging that you are a part of life, you are a part of nature, you're a part of Mother Earth, and that you came here as a part of her, that there is a sovereign essence within you. If you have any questions a little bit about that, you're welcome to pop them in the chat box. I can see some curious faces, but this is very much the essence of how the rose works in all of her different tones. But this training is for you to be able to witness somebody where they are, to see their essence, and to feel and sense all the initiations that they've gone through, and you witness them opening up through the rose. And this is through a transmutation through her high frequency of the flower. And this will be unblocking the trauma shaping. So often when we have Yeah, a mother wound that has been unhealed. We're moving through life from a fight or flight response system. We're not feeling that deeper sense of safety and trust and sovereignty within our own bodies. We're still looking outside externally for the feminine and masculine aspect to validate that within us. And when somebody really reclaims and reinstalls with the rose this foundational love blueprint, this is when so much information is being received because their body is actually open and receptive and safe. So, this is truly where transformation happens because they have the emotional intelligence, they have the capacity to move through transformation, to go through a rebirthing process. And within the Rose Ascension Midwifery course, you're learning about integrative practices with the rose. This is for people that are in for trauma recovery from different trauma experiences, ranging from abortion to cesarean to sexual abuse to PTSD. In a very gentle way, it's about acknowledging the different roses and the frequencies that are going to help them to unblock the belief systems and help them to open up in their receptive body to receive that experience. It's a lot. The reason why we have traumatic experiences in our life, and most people fragment in some level. And part of their soul will go off into a deep place of the subconscious, and it won't be contacted again until their emotional intelligence of their body and the safety within them is ready. And this shows up in many circumstances when it comes to trauma, such as sexual abuse or PTSD from being at war. Is they will go a long period of time in a fight or flight modus, in survival mode, which is the trigger from the trauma. Their body will be operating from that trauma shaping, and then at some point maybe they've reached a moment in their life where they're able to really receive it, but it will be 20 years down the line. And so, what this course is doing is helping to accelerate that process for everybody that you're working with, because you're already helping to install a foundational imprint of love for them to be able to have enough emotional intelligence and capacity within their body to process much stronger emotions. So, this often looks like, for me, when I'm working with clients that have got PTSD. Very quickly elements of those soul fragments will come back in, and they will have very deep emotional experiences very quickly come up out of the blue, because of their body has, the rose has helped them open up the pathways inside of themselves to really receive that, and to be able to make receive the medicine and the gifts that are within them. So I wanted to share this information about the way that the rose heals and how she really guides feminine awakening. There's so much more there, which is what you will be studying in the Rose Ascension Midwifery course. But this is just really to touch on this theme now of the mother wound and what that can show up like in somebody's life, and how it relates to our attachment bonds, and how the rose helps to heal that, is because she is a mother guide. She is the ultimate mother frequency, the divine mother. So rather than relying on, maybe the reason why we can stay in our development as a child is because we still haven't been given a role model or an essence or a quality of that mothering energy that is so unconditional that we can really rely on it, that we can look towards that rather than expecting anything from the outside. And the way that working with an ancient flower spirit is just so precious is that she becomes that person for you and gives you a really greater sense of courage to be able to process those deeper wounds from childhood, because you're no longer looking at those role models, as it were, to fulfill something for you. You've been given a connection to a higher force in the feminine, and she's a very strong spirit that you feel immediately. She works so deeply on the body and the physical. And to touch on a little bit about the pink rose and what she does, is in contact with the skin. So, this mother wound, our innate intimacy with the world around us. When we come into this world and we don't necessarily have a healthy role model or somebody showing us from the generations before how to feel safe and at home in our bodies, often there's many experiences in childhood that actually do not support that. They it's the opposite. It can create different mechanisms of shutting those aspects of yourself down. Yeah, so in the pink rose, she's touching on our first contact, as it were, our intimacy. It's that ability to be receptive to the world around, which is the true state of the feminine. The pink rose is the most feminine rose out of a lot in the way that she works with the mother line. She works with the generational traumas that have been there, all the shame, all the lack of self-worth, and helping through forgiveness for you to rebuild that in your system and to feel very comfortable in your feminine energy. The pink rose is amazing to work with for women that have a tendency to be more masculine. That I've had clients of mine that they come in and they're wearing trousers quite often in their life, and they're in that kind of modus because of the culture that they've come from. And working with the pink rose just immediately gives them this sense of safety and trust to be vulnerable in their feminine nature and to embrace their feminine nature. It's about our self-worth, that deep innate worth that we have as the feminine, that is undeniable. There's no way that it can be changed. It's just about re-tapping back into that and rooting into it. Yeah. So this is a little bit about the pink rose, and now I'm going to invite us to drop into some practice so that you can really feel the benefit of the rose in this space, and how from this moment now, what you're feeling, what you're going to feel at the end of working with these practices with me today. So I'm going to invite you to just drop in for a little grounding meditation. Just settling in, closing your eyes, getting comfortable. And just finding a gentle inhalation and exhalation, just finding your own rhythm. Allowing the sweetest breaths to fill you up. As I invite you to draw your awareness down into the base of your spine. And here to imagine that you have roots extending down into the earth all around you, bringing safety and stability. And just feeling that connection and that belonging, that you're a part of the earth. That every part of the water, the air, the fire, the earth inside of you is made up of the same qualities of Mother Nature all around. Just inviting you to connect into that quality. And just calling in Mother Earth into this space today to support you all and give you that grounding. So with your next inhalation, I'm going to invite you to draw your awareness to the base of your spine, to your root chakra. And we're going to be doing a little chakra opening today for you to feel the most aligned and yummy and elevated in your energy. So inviting you to connect into the base of your spine and your root chakra, and beginning to see a beautiful pink rose blossoming in your root chakra. And you're witnessing this rose as she presents herself. So maybe she may be a little bit smaller at this moment in time. And with your loving awareness, I'm going to invite you to see that this pink rose is spiraling open in your root chakra. Just breathing deeply into that space, allowing the petals to transmute any denser energy, any aspects of your being that is held in scarcity or survival, fight or flight. And just feeling and sensing, welcoming the pink rose and that innate sense of belonging. And just feel and sense how the base of your body opens up as you continue breathing and witnessing the pink rose there. And just giving thanks to the medicine of the pink rose being received into your root chakra to bring you love. And just drawing your awareness up now to your sacral chakra, which is located just below the belly button. And just inviting you to connect and sense with your womb. How open are you in this moment? Do you feel there's elements of contraction, of shielding? As you begin to witness and imagine a beautiful pink rose being planted and opening up in your sacral chakra. Inviting you with each breath that she begins to spin and open and spiral, and seeing petals shedding away of any stories, any elements of shame, of guilt, anything that you may be holding on to for others within your womb. And just allowing the rebirthing of this energy, the imbuing of the pink rose in your sacral chakra. And with your next inhalation, I'm going to invite you to draw your awareness up to your solar plexus, just located the base of your diaphragm in the center, and witnessing there a beautiful pink rose opening up and imbuing her medicine, supporting you to transmute any elements of your power being held back, any imbalances with your boundaries, any ways that you give your power away, that it may be dispersed. And just witnessing the petals shedding as she continues to spiral in your solar plexus. And with your next inhalation, drawing your awareness up to your beautiful heart and feeling the presence of your heart in this moment. as you witness this very sweet transformation from where you were before this call started to this moment now. And just feeling the shift as you open up your chakras. So witnessing a beautiful pink rose in your heart, opening, spiraling from its center, and just feeling that the pink rose is helping to loosen any barriers, any ways in which you may have been betrayed in moments in your life, and shielded your heart, protected yourself. Just opening up your heart in this moment, and that innate belonging and safety with the earth. And with your next inhalation, drawing your awareness up to your throat chakra and feeling and sensing here. Maybe there's some contraction, maybe there's elements of holding from belief systems or fight or flight from the day. Maybe there's qualities of grief there. Just witnessing the pink rose spiraling open and just allowing her medicine to be imbued. And once again, rising up to your third eye, witnessing the pink rose there coming from the center of your brain to your forehead, just bringing her sweetness, her softening, her higher wisdom, her emotional intelligence into your mind, just releasing and witnessing the spiraling of the rose in its center as you clear away any busyness in your mind. And you drop deeper into this moment together. Finally rising up to come to your crown chakra and feeling and sensing there maybe some disconnection, ways in which we forget to listen to the higher guidance around us, to be connected to source. I'm inviting you to feel the pink rose there spiraling open. And with your next exhalation, inviting you to drop down into your heart and just asking yourself this question in this moment in time. How are you feeling now? What is that shift in your body? Can you sense her medicine coming into you, that safety, that belonging? And asking yourself around your personal service from this moment now, being honest with yourself, do you really feel that you have stepped into the full potential of all of those key initiations within your life? And give me a few moments to reflect as I call in the spirit of the rose ever more into this space and give thanks for her and bringing us together and bringing this synchronicity of all of our lives. Rose sita korarai, korarai di di. Rose sita korarai, korarai di di. Rose sita korarai, korarai di di. Madrecita 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 korarai, korarai di di. Rosecita 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 korarai, korarai di di. So the reason that I wanted you guys to ask that question is just to bring more awareness now into your field and any sensing of limitations, or maybe there's qualities of somewhere that you really want to embrace more within your life, an aspect of yourself, a shadow within yourself, an experience. And I'm going to invite you to just draw that seed of intention to come into this somatic practice with me. And we're going to be building that innate sense of self-worth and belonging through the body, building our emotional capacity to be able to hold those deeper emotions within us. So we're going to be connecting to the skin, to your first contact, to the energy body that moves around you. So from this place, beloveds, I'm going to invite you to drop into this practice with me. It is very gentle and yummy and nourishing. And we're going to do that from a place of first just landing in and connecting to a memory of yourself, of when you felt the most whole, safe, full of just full up with love and the blessings of the universe, and the moment in your life where you just felt like, yes, I'm so worthy of all of this. And just inviting in that expansion and that being your safe place to come back to in this practice whenever an contraction or something arises, or a limitation that you feel throughout your field. So I'm going to invite you to drop down from your mind into your womb. So drawing your awareness down from your mind into your womb. So if that supports you to feel that there is a light moving from your mind down into your uterus, and inviting you to see that in your womb is this beautiful, beautiful, big, abundant pink rose flower, and she's opening up from your pelvic bowl, and her roots are extending down through your feet into the earth, and you feel her petals opening up around your back and your arms and extending up all the way to the crown. And here, dropping deeper into the center of that imagery of the rose within your womb, inviting you to travel into the center. And in the center, feeling that you're in the waters of your womb, that you're in your sacred temple, that you're in your holy waters. And here, just fighting in long, deep inhalations and exhalations. The way that this practice works is that we're going to begin to open up that receptive nature of our skin. So inviting you to begin to outline skin of your body and feel that the petals from your womb are extending out into your skin. And as you breathe, you're breathing in nourishment, you're breathing in self-worth, you're breathing in a deep sense of safety and belonging. I'm going to invite you to bring some body awareness first to your feet and to your legs, to the skin around your legs. And you're going to see this thin layer, this energy just buzzing as if your skin is the petals of the rose itself. And they're moving and they're oscillating and they're vibrating. And as with each breath, you're breathing in through all pores of your skin, all the nourishment from the pink rose. And as you breathe, bring your awareness to your feet and your legs, and just going to gently invite you to sense if there's some contraction, if you feel that there's some holding, if you feel the shape of your body has been developed from a lack of safety, a lack of belonging. And just continuing to breathe in the medicine of the pink rose through the porous nature of your skin. And as you exhale, you're just releasing and transmuting any lack of safety, any lack of belonging. As you bring your awareness to your pelvis, to the holding of the base of your spine, and just inviting you to consciously release any holding there. And feeling and sensing the rose within your womb. And knowing that the mother code, the essence within you is there, held within your womb. And just inviting you as you continue to release and transmute any fear or lack of safety or scarcity from your pelvis with the pink rose. As you breathe out, you're just releasing and gifting back to the universe and the rose any belief systems that you received in your mother's womb. And just seeing this gentle oscillation of the petals of a rose around your skin. And just witnessing how the cells open up. And as you're there in your womb, just connecting back to that place of belonging, of your innate sense of self-worth, coming from the spirit of the rose herself, the mother of all life. And continuing to draw your awareness along your body, around your womb, the skin of your womb, the muscles, and just feeling your own receptivity of your skin opening up as you breathe the petals through every cell. Maybe you're beginning to feel and sense where there is a shape of trauma in your body, where there's contraction and holding around your pelvis or your womb. Just rising up with this energy from the pink rose, moving through your body. all the way along your skin, really feeling and sensing the contact with your skin. And feeling that it's opening up, receptive to the world and the information around you, to nature herself. And as you come to more the skin around your heart and your shoulders, maybe you feel there's elements where you're not quite listening to the receptivity. Maybe there's some contraction or burdens holding back yourself from being receptive in this place, from your heart and your skin around your chest. Just coming back to that place of your womb and feeling the strength of the rose flower, her beauty, her power. And just feeling this oscillation taking place as if a beautiful pink auric field around your skin, all around your skin. And you feel this oscillation just opening up the porous nature of your being. I'm going to invite you, beloveds, from this place to just sense the room around you and where you are. And draw your awareness to any colors of pink within the room. And just allow your eyes to rest on these, if it's an object, whatever it may be, that's holding these colors of pink. And from this place, I invite you to receive and just connect. What are the emotions? What are the feelings and sensations arising for you? I have a pink rose here if anybody's needing some pink. So just without much thought, just gently just receiving, paying attention to what this evokes within you, what maybe memories or sensations show up in your body. Maybe you notice that maybe your body starts to contract in a certain place, or simply it just brings beautiful memories. And just exploring and connecting to your dynamic here with this frequency and this color of pink. Spending a few more moments connecting in with these objects or wherever your eyes are resting on the color of pink in the room, noticing the sensation. And if any uncomfortability arises, just dropping back into that place of your womb, of that innate belonging and love and trust and safety. And in your own time, beloveds, if you have a pink rose with you, now's the moment to get her out. And then just gently explore, smell her, connect with her. I'm just going to invite you to just intuitively allow the rose to Just maybe move up and caress your face and your skin. Just feeling the sensation, feeling what she evokes, and just allowing her to come up to your third eye. Just bringing the rose to your throat, down along this heart pathway, your vagus nerve. Maybe there's a place in your body that you just feel really good to allow the rose to rest. And just inviting in your own communication here to listen to the rose. Introduce yourself. Ask her, what is she helping and supporting you with today? Just sense, maybe you feel that when the rose is just by your heart, maybe you feel sensation somewhere else in your body. And this is just giving you a little introduction into how the rose heals, how she transmutes, how she brings this awareness of the shapes of trauma on our body. The simplicity of connecting with the rose and how she immediately drops you into a sense of softness, of slowing down. Mm. Mm. So if you feel like sharing in the chat box, I'm curious to hear any words and sensations that came up that arose for you when you were connecting to the color pink. Maybe there was some sweet communication from the rose that just came through for you now. And just being aware of how you're feeling in this moment in time after those two practices together, just feeling the subtle differences in your system. And this is where the communication of the rose comes in. This is where the study and the wisdom comes in. Mm. Mm. Thank you for sharing. And yes, Sarah, and I feel likewise, just this mushiness, like a baby, like a child, in that deep sense of vulnerability of ourselves. So really beautiful to see that shift for you both. Just the subtle differences from a little bit of the practices today. We are coming close to the time, so I want to honor in case anybody needs to leave because it's already been an hour. I'm going to be extending for another half an hour, anyways, for questions and for everybody to integrate and everything that they've received. I very much wanted to offer a shamanic journey for you all today within this space of just a journey to meet with the spirit of the rose and to receive more information about your personal destiny and the places that you can be embracing to truly embody your personal service. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to record that for you all, and I'll send it to you so that you can all do that at home. And I would love to hear your feedback and what comes through for you. So this is coming to a close, this call together today, but this is all about ascension, all about feminine ascension, and about the way that the rose heals. And so this is an opportunity for me now to share a little bit more about the Rose Ascension Midwifery course. The innate belonging that you just tapped into, this softness and this vulnerability, is one of the main mother codes. It's the first module in the course. So you will be deeply studying how this works, how to bring people into this vulnerable state, and knowing when to apply her medicine. Yeah, each module you will be diving into a study holistically with each of the different roses and experientially learning as she heals your own limitations, as she awakens your own feminine intelligence of your body and reinstills these codes inside of you. So you'll be experientially learning with the rose through all of the rose healing arts, tools, and practices, which is a lot of healing that we're going to receive, lots of roses, and it will be regularly doing the full body physical rose healing, which is where you're going to be studying where she unblocks different shapings of trauma, and you'll be going into precise trauma themes and diseases that are big epidemics in the world today, touching on disassociation, depression, anxiety, how to apply rose medicine into all of these topics so that you as a practitioner can truly support every human being to be able to awaken into their feminine intelligence. There is a rose diet with me every month. And this is really for you as practitioners to be able to merge, dissolve, heal, cleanse, purify yourself in a very specific protocol that helps your inner communication with this ally. As you bond to a really powerful flower spirit, there is many things that open up in your life and reflections that she brings back into your world, and you become a catalyst for change for everybody around you, whether or not they feel it. Because of what you've already awakened within your subtle energy bodies, you are that guide for others. So throughout the 9 months together, you're going to be getting mentoring from me to dive into your key initiations, your pivotal moments in your life, so that you can really embrace all of it as your medicine, and that you're serving from that place, your strength, what's embodied in you, and what is ultimately your destiny. We all have a great tapestry of our lives that expresses what we came here to be and what we came here to serve with. And often we can get into these operating modes as practitioners that we keep ourselves small, or we limit ourselves to the place that we can expand to, or we touch a little bit upon it, but we don't really go into the depths, because speaking from that truth is courageous. Speaking from those wounds, there can still be elements that we're uncovering and embracing. So you'll be getting one-to-one mentoring with me, and group mentoring throughout all of the 9 months. That this is going to mean that when you come out of the course, you are serving from your place of destiny. And you'll be integrating so many powerful rose healing arts tools that you can already get going with as a practitioner, building your abundance, building your service. But I'm so deeply excited about this course, because it's a dropping into the body, dropping into the science of the way that the rose heals and what she does, like in terms of alignment. There's so much more to touch on regarding the other colors and what they do in terms of the pelvis, and what she does for the reproductive health and more, and these different traumas that people experience within life, but it will be very much a gentle and step-by-step flow. Yeah, so this early bird is ending tomorrow for the course. So it's the perfect moment to jump in if you're feeling the urge, if she's been speaking to you over and over again, showing up in your life in synchronistic ways, or simply you are just so ready to support people in your life, the those around you, to be able to awaken into their feminine intelligence, and you want to go down that route with an amazing feminine plant spirit, with nature herself, and being able to apply that into any other healing modality that you're already operating with. That's what I really love to do with my mentoring, is seeing what your unique gifts are and helping you guys all come out with a really beautiful, unique service at the end of this course. So I'm going to invite in any questions that any of you have. If you want to share with me and tell me about your experience today and what else you may have had come up.